Working in this industry where, okay, before COVID, the corporate media had the lowest approval numbers since they've been keeping track of them. Like, trust in media had evaporated.
There was the war with Donald Trump. That's really what it was. It's like social media was all controlled by the left-wing media, and the left-wing media was all in on this war against Donald Trump.
There's a huge part of it. I mean, I would say the backdrop is the war on terror, the terror wars, getting all of that wrong, the financial crisis, not seeing that coming and kind of getting that all wrong.
The weapons of mass destruction
Yeah,
thing.
that's all that stuff, Iraq and Afghanistan being disasters. So that's kind of in the backdrop, and then you have the worst financial crisis in 100 years. So that happened, but then there's no question, I mean, and particularly not just the war with Donald Trump, but particularly the allegation of a conspiracy with Russia that they said every single day, all day for 3 years long. I mean, if you think about it, it's the big, if true, it's the biggest news story in the history of the United States of America. They're claiming that the current sitting president is guilty of treason. He was installed by a hostile foreign power who overthrew our elections in order to install him. It was quite a claim to run with 24/7. And then to find out after 3 years that we have nothing. Not like there's nothing, no evidence pointing toward this conspiracy even existing. So that their trust had already evaporated. But then after COVID,
but people will
they
still
will
go
never
on
recover.
Bill Maher and argue this. They'll still say there's evidence.
Right,
it's like people still want to. They still want to say there's evidence.
Not only
they'll
isn't
still
there,
say it.
There's not even evidence that Vladimir Putin interfered in the 2016 election. The best they have is like there are some bot farms that they can trace to Russian IP addresses, which is like, I'm not a tech guy. Jamie, you know this better than me, but they say it's the easiest thing to fake is an IP address. The fact that an IP address traces to Russia is like almost more indicative that someone's trying to frame Russia than it is that Russia was involved. But even the guys who they got,
Dude, imagine if we found out that
was
that's
like
what the
knew
case
Putin.
was. Imagine if we found out that the Russian troll farms were like completely insignificant, and it's all just like government-controlled troll farms.
Well, I mean, look, even if they were all from Vladimir Putin, they were fairly insignificant in terms of like interfering in elections with other with other countries and how it works.
The most effective strategy was funny memes.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was a very effective strategy because it makes when you mock something, it makes it much more easy to dismiss that in terms of whether or not like that's the right choice for president. If someone can like openly mock someone, why do you think they openly mocked Donald Trump's? They even made stuff up like about his hand size.
Yeah.
Remember there was this thing that he had little hands. Dude, I was shaking his hands. He's got normal fucking hands. He's a big guy. He's a big guy. Like he's got a big hand. I was like, this is the most. I remember the first time I shook his hand. I was like, this is the most ridiculous thing.
Well, look,
that everybody said he has little hands.
Mocking people is a powerful tool, dude.
That's a crazy one because you're mocking something that someone can't change. This is always against left-wing ideology.
Not when it serves their purposes.
Right, but that's the thing.
Right.
It's just like you're willing to violate the rules
in
order for your side to win. Because progressives are always supposed to be against body shaming. You're supposed to be kind. You're supposed to not mock a person's appearance. Why would you do, especially like what they're born with, the hand size and the dick size? Like really, that's okay to mock?
Dude, there was a segment. I remember watching this. It was in the 2016 election, and it was on Joy Reid's show on MSNBC, her show at the time, whatever it was. And she had a whole segment about like how sexist the coverage of Hillary Clinton was. And it was, every time they'll say she's shrill or she's this, but if a man was like that, it'd be this. And she went through all these words that have been used to cover Hillary Clinton and how they're loaded, sexist phrases and all this. And then at the end of her show, she has this segment called Who Won the Week? And all the guests on the panel get to pick their own, like, what happened this week. And her choice, not one of the people on the panel, her choice of who won the week was this guy in Union Square who made a naked statue of Donald Trump with a micro penis. And was just like literally like just making a thing like, aha, he's got a little dick. And after literally her last segment was on the sexist coverage of Hillary Clinton. And then her next pick for who won the week was a guy mocking Trump for having a micro penis that he just made up and made a statue of. And she did not even like seem to see the contradiction in any of that. Like that you just said this.
It's beautiful. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun to watch. I'm glad those people exist. They're fun. They're fun to watch because they're so ridiculous and they're so fake. And it comes off. It's obvious that they're not really engaged. They're not really talking about it like a human. They're just propagandists. And that's the only way you can do that job. If you want to do that job, you have to be a propagandist. Or you have to be some sort of straight-faced Jake Tapper dude who just kind of like straight-faces everything. But if you want, you want to have the Joy Reid show.
Yeah, you got to go. You got to go for it.
Joy Reid things. What was that one? She got in some bizarre argument with some woman recently.